At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
Good morning, everyone. Hey, Jeremiah.
Hey, Jen. How we doing this morning?
We're great. Welcome. Jeremiah's here this morning. We're going to party. And when I say party, I mean we're going to do news.
Yeah, we're going to discuss. I got my Pete Wilson stack here.
Yes, you do.
And we'll see how we do getting through it this morning.
It's impressive. We were, just to let you all know, I announced yesterday that we would be having a visit from Jennifer Hughes, our Jackson County dog warden. She sent me a message this morning and said that they're a little short-staffed this morning. Some people out sick and this, that, the other thing. So she was supposed to come in and talk about dog tags because it is dog tag renewal time. Don't forget.
It's that time of year.
And listen, here's the deal. This is my preach. I do this every year. The dog pound is funded by you buying dog tags. It is the law.
Yes.
If you have a dog, they need to be tagged. There's a plethora of reasons why you need to buy your dog a tag.
Yes.
One of which is to help obviously fund the dog pound, who do so much work.
They are busy folks over there.
Absolutely. Secondly, it helps you get your dog home.
Right.
And they don't have to go to doggy jail.
Yes.
And on and on and on. So it's a positive thing. So dog tag renewal time, you have until...
Is it the end of the month?
I think the end of this month. Also, there are several locations throughout the county where you can buy them. You can buy them at the auditor's office. You can buy them at the dog pound. You can buy them. But Al's Pampered Pooches in Oak Hill is also now selling dog licenses.
Okay.
So if you're in the Oak Hill area, you can get it there. Right
there on Front Street.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, very, very good. And also the dog pound, if you're a dog lover, like many of us are, and you're looking to help out there, they can always use some help and or applications for staff.
Yeah, they're always wanting folks to come out and maybe take a dog for a walk.
So you can volunteer, but also get paid to do it too.
And you can donate food out there. They're always taking donations. And any help you can throw their way, I'm sure she would appreciate it.
That's right. And I even sent Jen pictures of my dogs wearing their dog tags so that she knew that I was
you
legal.
Renewed.
Yes.
That's good.
We're
Very
good.
And
they're black this year, just to let you know. They're a different color every year.
Okay.
I've never had a black one before.
Very good. And they always have dogs up for adoption.
Of course.
They have a Facebook page. You can get on and check that out. And they post when they're
very, very active on social media.
Yes.
And
very active on social media.
So if your dog is missing, if your dog, just any kind of thing like that, give them a shout out or tag them and they'll share it, whatever. But anyway, get your dog tags. It is the law. You will get fined if you get caught not having a dog tag.
Very good.
So there you go.
There we go.
Jen's preach for the day.
All right. So we're going to start off with we've got a wind advisory that'll be going in effect this afternoon for Jackson and Vinton counties.
I could do without the wind.
Yeah,
remember last year when we had all this wind and it was horrible.
It was bad around this time of year.
Yes.
And I actually had damage to our roof.
Yes.
Because, and we had to turn it into our home insurance.
Yep.
And we ended up having to get a new roof put in and everything. But the winds that are set for this afternoon aren't as bad as, what we had last year around this time. The wind advisory will be in effect at 4 p.m. this afternoon, Friday, January 12th through 8 a.m. Saturday, January 13th. They are expecting winds 20 to 30 miles per hour with gusts up to 45 miles per hour expected. As a reminder,
Yuck.
gusty winds can blow around unsecured objects, so be
Yes.
sure to secure those like trash cans, or if you still have Christmas decorations out, be sure to go out and maybe take those down or secure them so
Yep.
they don't blow away into your neighbor's yard or down the
Flower
street or in
pots,
the yard, all that
all
stuff.
the deck chairs, all the random things that can fly through the air.
Right. And when you're out traveling this afternoon and evening, keep in mind that these winds are strong enough to be able to blow down tree limbs. And when that happens, you could have some power hits.
Yes.
So just use extra caution when driving. And don't forget to secure those outdoor objects.
That's exactly right. Just for the safety of everybody and everything.
Yes. So yesterday morning, I was hoping, just yesterday in general, Jen, I was hoping for a quiet day.
Not so much.
Just sitting at my desk and playing catch up from, I've had a lot of meetings this week.
Yeah.
But we had some breaking news yesterday morning, Jen. A Jackson man was flown to Columbus following a crash that occurred Thursday morning, January 11th. His vehicle ultimately ended up partially inside a mobile home there in Jackson Township.
That is insane to me.
So this at approximately 9:39 a.m., emergency personnel were dispatched to a single vehicle crash there along U.S. Route 35 near Milepost 4 in Jackson County. According to the Ohio State Highway Patrol, Brandon Queen, 24 of Jackson, was driving, as you can see there in the picture, it's a gray collared 2015 Dodge Ram.
Wow.
He was traveling westbound on U.S. Route 35 when his vehicle crossed the median and crossed the eastbound lanes of U.S. Route 35. He then traveled off the roadway into a yard, across the driveway. He then, as you can see in the picture there, struck that tree, then struck a utility pole, and then struck the mobile home. And the truck, as you can see, came to rest partially inside that mobile home there.
That is nuts.
So this mobile home was located, it's between Brohard Road and Savageville Road west of Jackson. That section of roadway was closed for a period of time as the helicopter from MedFlight had to land out there to pick Mr. Queen up. He was flown to Grant Medical Center in Columbus for injuries. Now, no one was home at the time.
Thank God.
Yeah, that the truck smashed it through the mobile home, or into the mobile home there. I spoke to the homeowner there, that is Harley Causey, 20 of Jackson. She told me that her family had just finished remodeling the mobile home with plans to hook up utilities.
Ugh.
And Causey, along with her 22-month-old and her husband Chase, 19 of Jackson, were all planning to live in the home. The family had been working on renovating that mobile home since September of 2023. She noted that the mobile home was totaled following the crash. She said it had bent the frame of the mobile home.
I'd say so.
I will say that a GoFundMe account has been set up online to help the family, and it is unknown whether or not the family had any kind of home insurance yet on that mobile home there.
How on earth did that happen? Does anyone know? Just
one of those. No, I didn't say in the release. It just said that the crash remains under investigation by the Jackson Post of the Highway. The Ohio State Highway Patrol.
That is a bizarre one.
That is definitely a series of events there.
Yeah.
And could have definitely been
much worse.
Much worse, especially when he crossed into the incoming traffic. It could have hit somebody head on.
Yep.
Somebody would have been in that home working on renovating it still. Moving stuff in even.
That's right. You think of young couple with a baby. Oh my gosh.
So, just everybody seems to be okay, and the gentleman was flown. It didn't say that he was in like serious condition or anything, but it did say for injuries.
Yeah, I think that he should be okay.
Hope so.
From what I've heard.
So that was a bit of breaking news that I ventured out to yesterday.
You get into some dillies out there on 35, don't you?
Yeah.
At least it wasn't a semi driving backwards down the road.
Right. Yeah, no. That's, yes. That's a different story there.
That was a whole other hoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to stay on the beat of some of that kind of news there, Jen. So we have a story. This happened earlier in the week.
Okay.
This isn't a crash, but this is a crime story.
Okay.
A Chillicothe man was allegedly assaulted with a hammer on Monday afternoon at a business in Jackson. The suspect, a homeless man who's pictured there, was taken into custody following the incident.
Oh my.
The Jackson Police Department was dispatched to a call of an assault at Wheat Ridge Barns, located at 826 East Main Street. If you're trying to think of where that is, that's across from Rowdy's.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Is that place?
That's the place there across from Rowdy's, and they also have U-Hauls.
Wait, there's an assault at the barn place?
Yes, that is where this took place. Was at the
What?
Wheat Ridge Barns. So we'll get into what happened here. Officers arrived on scene to find a male victim laying in the gravel parking lot with several individuals around him. The victim had been covered up with a blanket and was bleeding from the mouth and face, and there was also a puddle of blood under the back of the male's head.
No.
The victim was identified as Randall Smith, 67, of Chillicothe. Smith is the business manager there at the Wheat Ridge Barns, which also rents U-Haul trucks.
Yeah, I mean, I see him there all the time. I assume it's the same gentleman I see there all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, older gentleman. And the suspect who's in the picture there, it was identified as 59-year-old James W. Weaver. His address is listed as Norfolk, Virginia. However, he's known to stay in the wooded area near the Jackson bike path.
Okay.
Yes. And officers spoke with Smith and learned that Weaver had arrived at the business trying to rent a U-Haul prior to the assault, but didn't have any funds to rent one. Smith had gone outside to use the restroom in a porta potty. When he had finished using the restroom, Mr. Weaver there had asked to use the restroom, and when Weaver had walked past Smith, he, I guess, turned around and struck him in the back of the head with a hammer.
What on earth?
Smith fell to the ground, but was able to get the hammer away from Weaver. Smith stated Weaver fled towards Tractor Supply following the confrontation. Police collected the hammer, which was lying beside Smith, as evidence. The hammer was reported to have blood on the handle. Smith was transported to Holzer Medical Center, Jackson, where he was later flown to the Ohio State University Trauma Center due to the extent of his injuries.
Yeah.
And several police units patrolled the area where Weaver is known to stay. Police was able to locate Mr. Weaver. He was bedded down in thick brush next to a creek that runs along the bike path in the area behind Callahan Hardware.
Yes.
There on Veterans Drive here in Jackson. Weaver was arrested without incident. He was transported to the Jackson Police Department. They secured him in a holding cell. Turned out that he was on probation, so they contacted the probation department, and as such, he was put on a probation holder. He was transported to the Jackson County Correctional Facility and released to their custody. This case is being submitted to the Jackson County Prosecutor's Office for review. Possible charges, according to JPD, are aggravated robbery and felonious assault.
I'd say so. That hammer will get you.
Yeah, kind of an interesting story that unfolded just up the road here from our office.
Yeah, that sounds like some rational thinking was not involved.
I missed it all, Jen. I was at lunch. I was at lunch.
See what you get when you go to lunch.
Go to lunch and you miss all the excitement.
Dang it. Well, again, just hope everybody's okay in that situation.
So we're going to move away from the breaking news and the crime and talk about get into some community news, and business news, and that kind of stuff. Over the weekend-ish and the latter part of last week, the 99th Annual Ohio Fair Managers Association Convention was held. That was January 4th through the 7th there in Columbus. Mm-hmm. And during this convention, they always have the 2024 Ohio Fair Queens contest.
Yes.
This year, there was 78 Ohio Fair Queens that competed in the contest. And among those that competed, you can see on the screen, that is Vinton County Fair Queen Madeline Kane. And then you also had Jackson County Fair Queen Madeline Fannin, who also competed.
Yes,
and both of the queens, they were crowned fair queens this past year, in July 2023, and a little bit about what happened at that contest here. It was on Thursday, January 4th, during the convention. A top 15 were narrowed down, and Fannin and Kane were both chosen to top 15.
Wow. Out of how many?
Out of 78.
Holy moly.
So that's a very good feat.
That's amazing.
Yes. And then later that same evening, the top 5 were named, and Kane advanced into the top 5.
Woohoo.
And Kane ultimately became the 2024 Ohio Fair Queen third runner-up. So she didn't get the top place, but she made it in the top 3.
Wow. Way to
So
go,
there she is
sisters.
holding her plaque there and her flowers that names her 3rd runner up
That's awesome.
out of 78 other fair queens.
That is so good.
And shout out to Fannin too for making it in the top 15.
Yes.
So Kane, was pictured there. That was on Saturday. They did the crowning announcement of those placements
so cool.
on Saturday, January 6th is when they crowned the top queen. And that was Leah Schuhart from Muskingum County. She was the top winner in that contest this year.
Very cool.
So congratulations to those girls representing Jackson and Vinton County and the fairs and up in Columbus there, the big city.
That is so good.
Earlier this week, Jen, the Oak Hill Area Chamber of Commerce kicked off their first meeting of the new year. And you can see the chamber members here. Each year, the first meeting, they always elect their officers for the new year. And the folks that were the officers this past year got reelected to the same positions. So you have there, that is treasurer. Let me see here. Caleb Bradford. And then you have the president, that's Curtis Strickland. And then secretary, that's Judy Hamilton. And there on the far right, for those watching on the TV, that is your vice president, Bruce Barhurst. And a little bit about the Oak Hill Chamber meeting. During this meeting, they announced their dates for their meetings. And those dates will be February 12th, March 11th, April 8th, May 13th, June 10th, July 8th, September 9th, October 14th, and November 11th. And those meetings are held at noon at the Liberty Theater Community Center there in the village of Oak Hill. And they also shared some events that they directly oversee. There's a number of those. You always have the Oak Hill Chamber Yard Sale and Amish Business Showcase.
Yes, that's a big one.
That's held in Etna Park there in Oak Hill. They've got a date scheduled for June 1st for that this year. The Oak Hill Chamber Picnic, which I think also serves as their meeting for the month of August. That'll be August 12th at Central Memorial Park. The Oak Hill Chamber Pumpkin Walk, which is always held in October.
That's a big one, too.
That's also at Central Memorial Park. That'll be October 12th, as long as the weather is good. And then the Oak Hill Chamber Christmas Party, that's held at the Liberty Theater on December 9th this year. So they also reminded that it is that time of year again when folks can renew their chamber memberships or join chamber memberships.
Okay.
And you can get on the Oak Hill Chamber's Facebook page. There's a sheet on there that you can print off and fill out, and you can mail that to the Oak Hill Area Chamber of Commerce. That's P.O. Box 354, Oak Hill, Ohio 45656. And there are membership dues that need to be included with that sheet. There's different ones for individuals, businesses, organizations. So there's kind of different levels. They said that the membership dues are used to promote and market businesses and support activities in the Oak Hill area. The Chamber is a 501c6 nonprofit organization.
Okay.
And they work together to bring area businesses, organizations, leaders, citizens to achieve the common goal of keeping Oak Hill a great place to live.
That's awesome.
So it's a little bit about the chamber. Always a fun meeting to go to. I didn't mention it in here, but I'm working on a story about the world's largest acorn.
Yes. Where are we at with the world's largest acorn?
So I can tell you that they have secured the funding for that. They announced that at the latter part of 2023.
So exciting.
That they have, it's like over $30,000 they've collected in donations.
Love that.
10,000, or I think it was 10,000, or it's either 5,000 or 10,000 of that. I think it was 10,000 came from the Ohio Arts Council.
Yeah.
They did like a match grant.
But then they had to match.
And
so listen, if you're not excited about this, like, get over yourself. This is fun and cool.
It's going to be really neat.
I'm sorry, but if you're like the Scrooge that's like, that's stupid, this is awesome.
It's going to be really cool.
Yeah.
They said that there's a company down near the Oak Hill area that is manufacturing this out of strips of metal. and then it'll be painted, and it'll be the world's largest acorn. It'll be in Central Memorial Park is where they're going to be placing it, and they need to get with the business to try to nail down a completion date for that. And once they have that, they are going to be announcing like this big old celebration for it with a big grand reveal.
Cool,
they said something about having the fire department involved, where they have it like covered up with a big like tarp, and they'll pull the tarp off.
I love that.
Reveal the big acorn. And yeah, so here's the one. This is in
this is the current world's largest acorn.
Yes, in North Carolina is where this one is located, and it's going to be.
You're going down. You're going down North Carolina acorn.
Yeah, it's supposed to be bigger than this one.
Yes,
and we're excited to see what that finished product will end up looking like. And it's just been exciting. They worked all last year. They were hoping to get it done during the sesquicentennial down there in the village of Oak Hill during that celebration. So they're hoping to get it done here in the first part of 2024.
Gonna be cool.
So, I'm sure I'll be there. We'll do live coverage of this big reveal of the acorn.
So fun. I don't know why. It's just fun.
It is a lot of. They're hoping it'll be a kind of a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
As you're driving along 35, you'll see a sign or something that says, "World's largest acorn this way." And
it's like the Griswold family vacation.
Right.
Like,
yeah, it'll be one of those stops.
Yes. It is fun.
And
come on.
I don't have my notes with me, but they had mentioned that John Kerry, who was the director for the Appalachia government office, he had got a hold of Strickland and talked about there's something called the Ohio Arts Corridor, and I guess Strickland had reached out to the guy that's over that, and
to add it to it.
There may be
nice.
added to that. It does meet the qualifications, and he didn't say kind of yay or nay, but I guess that individual is going to be trying to come to the reveal, so maybe he'll make that announcement that it's been added to this corridor. But it's like a series. It's like over 150 miles. It's like a 150-mile tour trail that you can take and stop at these different sculptures and murals and stuff here in Southern Ohio.
That is awesome.
So that's pretty cool.
Yes.
I don't have a picture for this, but I wanted to mention that the Jackson County Board of Commissioners met on Monday, January 8th to elect their board's officers and committee assignments for 2024. And this year it was announced that Commissioner Paul Hauer will serve as board president.
Okay.
And Commissioner John Hensler will serve as the board vice president. And then, you have Commissioner Donnie Willis there as well. And the committee assignments that they serve over for 2024 will remain the same as those that were issued in 2023. And I know covering commissioners in the past, several years ago, they started doing kind of a rotation for president and vice president.
Okay.
So they kind of rotate through the three that are elected each year so that everybody kind of gets a turn.
Gotcha.
Versus one person staying president, for several years.
Right.
So that's kind of good that they do that.
Yeah.
In the city of Wellston, we are going to talk about the folks up there on the screen. For those watching on the TV, you have Wellston Mayor Anthony Brenner is swearing in. That's Rick Hudson as president of Wellston City Council. Hudson will be serving a 2-year term. And then if you can throw that other picture up there, Hayden, we'll go through it real quick too. Here you have Wellston Mayor Anthony Brenner swearing in 5 members of the Wellston City Council. Shown from the left are 3rd Ward Councilman Fred Doobie, 2nd Ward Councilman Hunter Skaggs, at-large council members Roby Browning, Walter Bub Norris, and Teresa Pond LeMaster. Each will serve 2-year terms. And it should be noted that later in the meeting, Mr. Norris there resigned from his at-large council position, and council immediately appointed him to a 4th Ward Council seat.
Right.
So the 4th Ward Council seat came open at the end of 2023.
Yes.
Lynn Carey did not seek re-election. She resigned at the end of the year.
Yep.
So that caused a vacancy in that position. And you have to live in that ward to be eligible for that seat.
But in at-large, you can live anywhere.
Yes,
so.
it's a citywide position.
Yeah.
So by him resigning from that and then moving to the 4th Ward, which he does resign in, they'll be able to market that at-large seat. And I have a little more information about that in a second for those that may be interested in
Okay.
applying. I will say this: all the swearing ins there took place on Thursday, January 4th, and we went through each of the different members there. We'll touch on all of them a little bit here real quick because we have some time. Rick Hudson, he was elected and sworn in as Wilson City Council president. He had no opposition during the 2023 November general election, so he received 887 complimentary votes. Prior to him being in this election, he had been appointed president and council by the Wilson City caucus of the Jackson County Republican Party, and that was in May of 2022 that he was appointed to fill out that term that was left vacant by former Wilson City Council President David McWilliams. McWilliams had been elected to a 2-year term as president of council, and that was during the 2021 election cycle. And Mr. Hudson there had filled out that term, which ran through the end of 2023, so he had to seek re-election, and he obviously got the seat because nobody ran against him.
Yeah.
As long as he voted for himself, he was good. But 887 other people voted for him, so that's good. They must have faith in him. Teresa Pond Lamaster and Roby Browning were both reelected during the general election in November. They both did not have any opposition. They also received complimentary votes, and they were returning members of council. They've been on council the last few years as well. Roby's been on for longer than Teresa. And then we talked about Walter Bub Norris. He was originally appointed to fill a vacancy at large council. That was August of 2022. Prior to the 2023 election cycle, he had indicated that he did not wish to seek a new term, and no one had filed for his seat. And I guess when no one runs for the seat, you kind of keep the seat if you don't resign.
Oh,
is kind of how that works, I guess.
Really?
It's somewhere in the revised code. There's something about unless somebody else, like he resigns or somebody else is elected to the position, then you kind of keep it. So he, kept that and was sworn in for that at large, but then immediately resigned and took the fourth ward seat, like we talked about.
It's like musical
chairs there.
Yeah.
And Angela Spangler, who wasn't in attendance on Thursday, she was elected as first ward councilwoman. She had retained her seat during the election, had no opposition. Now, Hunter Skaggs, he's a newcomer to council this year, and he had filed as a write-in candidate during the election. He was elected, had no opposition, and that seat was left vacant by former councilwoman Madison Vance.
Okay.
She had resigned in early December this past year. She had moved out of the state.
That makes it a little hard to represent, doesn't
it? Yes. I did do a brief interview with Skaggs since it was his first time on city council. Young man, 23, of Wellston. He resides there in the 2nd Ward. He's lived there since 2021 with his wife, Shay, and their son, Timothy. And he's never served on city council before. And, I asked him why he decided to run.
Yeah.
And here's what he told me. This is in quotes. He said, "I see that citizens of the country, the state, the city, and the county have learned, in my opinion, that we cannot really trust the federal government to support and defend our interests and our people," said Hunter. So I feel like the best way that I can make sure, in my opinion, that has been done correctly is to get on a seat that has a say, and that's why I ran.
That's cool.
So he's a 2019 graduate of Jackson High School. While in school, I had looked. He was involved in the drama club, involved in several productions, also involved in soccer, Jackson County 4-H program. After graduation, he had joined the Marine Corps and had gone to boot camp in November of 2019. And he received an honorable discharge in July of 2023. He was a military police officer and served one deployment to Cuba. Before and after that, he served a short time. He worked at the Jackson County Correctional Facility as a corrections officer. And in September of 2022, he got a job at the Jackson County Juvenile Court as a probation officer. And earlier in early 2023, he switched to a bailiff position at the juvenile court, which he currently holds. But he's very grateful for the opportunity to represent the community on council, and he said he appreciates everybody's support.
Sure.
Fred Doobie, who we talked about, he was so he had filed as a independent candidate for the 3rd Ward position. If you recall, some of those folks, when the filing happened, had their candidacy invalidated.
There was a lot of that
There was a lot of that this past year.
Yeah.
And he was one of those. So he didn't appear, and he was kind of in the same boat that, he didn't resign, but nobody ran. So he kind of, I guess, got to keep it.
By default.
By default. And so he got sworn in for, 2 more years, I guess.
Oh, my. Okay.
So that's kind of a rundown of Wellston City Council and all the folks there. As always, the Wellston City Council meets on the 1st and 3rd Thursdays of each month at 7 p.m. They're at the Wellston City Council chambers. That's on the 2nd floor of the city building.
Okay.
Those meetings are live streamed. They have a Facebook page, Wellston City Council meeting page or something of that nature, and you can get on and watch those live. And you're welcome to attend and watch them in person too.
Okay.
If you want to know more about your city government. We were talking about that vacancy at the at-large council.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in that seat,
like how do you become that person?
Yes. So they say that all interested parties for the citywide council seat need to appear at the next Wellston City Council meeting, which is Thursday, January 18th at 7 p.m. Letters of interest and resumes can be sent to Wellston City Clerk Mindy Berry Eisenagel. You can email that to her at meisenagel@thecityofwellston.org, or you can hand deliver it to the mayor's office during regular business hours there at the Wellston City building. For anybody that is interested, and don't forget you need to be a registered voter, and I know for some other positions, I think you have to resign at least a year in the city as well.
Okay.
So, all right, we're going to talk some business, Jen. We've had a lot of new businesses and or change of ownerships to businesses.
Okay.
This past year and starting off this year. So we got a couple we're going to talk about. The first one we're going to talk about is a local family that has purchased the former Marie Laveau Bar and Grill.
Yeah.
They're in downtown Jackson. And the family which purchased the bar has a special family connection it that precedes the prior owners.
Yeah.
Beth Ingalls, who is pictured there on the far right, that she is one of the co-owners. On the far left there, that is Jess and Kinsey Parker. Kinsey Parker is Beth's daughter. And then Jess, that's her son-in-law. They went together and bought a bar, as the sign says there. And she, we sat down for an interview with Beth, Jess, and Kinsey recently, and she explained why the bar was special to the family. Her grandparents, Charlie and Ernstine Sprouse,
yes,
once owned the bar. Many in the community may remember or recall the Sprouse's business being called Charlie's Bar.
Charlie's Bar, yeah.
Charlie's Bar.
No, it was Charlie's Stag Bar there.
It was, and she talked a little bit about that. And the Sprouses had sold the bar in 2002.
Yeah,
and then we'll talk a little. Like you said, when it first opened, it was Charlie's Bar, and it was a stag bar, men only.
Yeah,
and she told me that her grandmother ended up taking over the bar because her grandpa Charlie wasn't very good at it. That's why Ernstine took over the bar. So that's kind of she said grandma was the one that actually made the business blossom.
Yeah.
She said that she was the face of Charlie's, and everybody loved her, and when they came in, they were there to see Ernstine.
Yeah.
And they had it for 30 plus years, she said. And in December, 2023, as I said, Ingalls and her daughter Kinsey and son-in-law Jesse purchased the bar. They were very happy to have the bar back in the family after all these years.
It's such a cool, come full circle story, right?
It's very neat.
Yeah.
And Kelly Landrum, she owned Marie Laveau's.
Yes.
She had it for over 20 years.
Yep. There. I can't believe that either.
Yes, a long notable time there as well. She said, in addition to getting the bar back in the family, they decided to purchase the bar because they were looking for a business venture to go on. And she noted that she has managed restaurants for 18 years. And, she said, Kinsey and Jess have both grown up around the restaurant industry as well. The new business is called Parker's Place.
Mm-hmm.
Be wondering a little bit about the name. That she explained that when they were tossing around names, she pushed for Parker's Place because in the end, the business is being built for her children and grandchildren. Parker is Jess and Kinsey's last name.
Yeah.
So that's how the name came about. The family hopes to keep the business in the family for years to come. And that business is located at 203 East Main Street in Jackson. And, they've had it for probably a month or more now. And they've been very thankful for all the support and the folks reaching out. She did talk a little bit about some of the stuff in the business. I guess there's a mantle in there that is 100 plus years old. Very neat. She said that they may work to restore it, actually.
Yeah.
It's, seen better days, but it's a beautiful piece of work.
There's, yes. And then the bar and the back bar in that building is, good luck trying to recreate something like that.
Right.
It is phenomenal.
It is very neat. She talked about the bar top. She said that the money that is in the bar top, she said Charlie had acquired when he was in Vietnam.
Oh, okay.
There's a little history about the money that you see in that bar top there in front of the mantle. So that's pretty neat. They said they offer a wide variety of liquor, and they've been adding some different ones as they find out what customer needs and wants are. They said they will offer a wide variety of beer selection, mostly domestic beer. And they said right now the business features typical bar food menu, but there are plans to roll out a brand new menu with all kinds of different foods. And Engel's son, Alec Johnson, is currently the chef. And they have plans to put a commercial kitchen in, and they want to redo it all to make it more of a family-oriented business.
Okay.
For folks to come in of the evening and eat, and then they're also going to keep it to where that late night crowd can come in for the bar atmosphere as well. So they're going to be doing some remodeling and expanding. The one part of the bar that's not open, they plan to do some remodeling over there as well for extra seating. And the current business hours are Thursdays from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m., Fridays and Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 2:30 a.m. And you can check them out on Facebook. And they were just excited to bring Grandpa and Grandma's business back to life.
That's so cool how it went full circle.
There. So keep an eye on them. 2024, they're going to be working hard to just do all the changes and growth there at that business.
Sure.
So another new business here that opened, a Future Look 3D, 4D Ultrasound and Photography LLC. I believe you had the business owner on.
Miss Carrie.
Yes, Miss Carrie. She had her ribbon cutting. Yep. That took place on Thursday, January 4th. They cut the ribbon there, and the Jackson Area Chamber of Commerce was on hand, along with several other board members, and Jackson Mayor Randy Evans and Wellston Mayor Anthony Brenner, Sam Brady of the Jackson County Economic Development Partnership, and many others were in attendance for that. Is it Carrie Coyne?
Coyne, yeah.
Coyne. It's she is that business. A Future Look can be found at the Office Commons in Jackson. That's 135 East Huron Street. And she has served as an ultrasound technician for over 10 years.
Yes.
She works with the team at Holzer Health System in addition to her new venture. And she said she found a deep love for her trade early in her career. And what this business will be able to offer folks is they'll utilize advanced technology to provide unparalleled quality in 2D, 3D, 4D readings that can clearly define the growing infant's adorable features.
It is
gender,
so
and
cool.
Much more. Yeah.
It is so cool.
I wish this was around,
I know, right?
when Noah was still in womb.
You basically get to meet your baby
before you meet your baby.
Before you meet your baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's
super
really
cool.
cool.
So they have a number of packages, and they invite people to check them out. They have a website that you can check out. It is www.afuturelook.com. You can get on there and make appointments and learn more about the business.
Yep.
So super cool new business there in
Yeah,
Jackson.
it is. Something that you see in the big cities, somebody,
Right.
brought to
Jackson.
little old Jackson.
That's
That's
right.
awesome.
Yep.
Yep.
We're going to talk about the Wellston former Louis Theater.
Oh no, again.
So, at one point it was on the chopping block.
Yes.
And the city had purchased it for 10 grand. And recently they had secured a grant to clean it out. So these are some photos.
Wait, is this the in? So,
This is the inside. So the last photo there was, some of the debris. And then this is a picture of it for those on the TV watching.
Wow.
Where it had been cleaned out on the inside.
So a lot of people didn't know, because if you drove by the Louis Theater, you're like, well, it's just a building standing there. But there was like no roof on it.
Yeah, there's no roof. The prior...
So that was part of the, major issue.
Yeah, so the prior owners, MacArthur residents Steve and Melissa Hamden, had owned this, and they had purchased it in May of 2018, and they had expressed intent to renovate the theater, but later had changes of plans. And the picture that's on the screen we'll get to in a minute. If you can take it down, Hayden, take it down, and we'll talk about it in a second. They had taken the roof down. The Hammonds did.
Yeah.
And when they took it down, you had all the debris that was inside. They were working on cleaning out, and then you had the roof debris and everything. But they had gotten into, I think, another project and kind of moved on from this. And as you can see there, the theater was still without a roof, but the roof joists and walls had remained still structurally sound. And there was, talk, as I said, there was grant funding by the Jackson County Land Bank. It was on the chopping block.
It was going to be torn down.
It was going to be torn down, and the Hammonds had even signed a voluntary consent with the Land Bank to have the theater demolished. And there was a lot of discussion about, we got to save this. It's a part of history. It's been around for a long time. Mm-hmm. And, ultimately the city had purchased it for, 10 grand. And, that was a Art Deco style theater located there in the heart of the city of Wellston.
Yeah, kind of like the Marquee.
And so you can go ahead and throw that picture back up there, Hayden. So this is I don't know what you call this, a rendering or a drawing of what could be the future of the Louis. So these are designs from a project engineer. So that's what the outside would look like and the inside would look like of the Louis Theater. Now, this is all kind of like hopes and dreams.
Sure.
The city of Wellston has, let me see here. They have applied for additional funding through the Appalachia Community Grant Program.
Okay.
Which that's that $500 million program that
Gotcha.
provides planning and development of grants for communities across the 32 counties in Appalachia. And, there's a lot of people wanting a piece of that pie. And the city has the Louis on there as a part of one of the projects they hope. There's a number of projects they hope to do there in the city, but that's one of them that is on the list. And the proposed use concept is a venue space for public events and private rental events. And, the building will need a new roof and workable utilities and facilities, restrooms, floors, etc. And that's all that they hope to do all that with that grant funding if they secure it. And like I said, it is one of several projects the city had submitted funding for. They should learn in the early part of 2024 here whether or not they'll receive grant funding. And so it'll be interesting to see if they do get that, if they can make that come to fruition.
Yeah, absolutely. Very fun project.
The Louis opened in the 1930s and was operated as a classic movie theater. The theater served as a location for entertainment while representing the economic prosperity of the town. That's a big word. Unfortunately, the theater suffered from decreased attendance and shut down in 2003.
Yeah.
I can remember as a kid watching Toy Story 2 at that theater.
I feel like we've had this discussion. Beverly Hills Cop. I went to see. I remember it. Like, I don't know why. I just remember that.
Right. And that was one of the last big films that they had at the Louis was Toy Story 2. Matt Fields, who was former owner and had it for a number of years when it shut down, he said that movie kept them afloat long enough to get the transition for Jackson to the Tri-City Theater.
Gotcha.
That he had once owned it too. So a little bit there about that. Let me see here. Since we're getting down the time, we can come to that next week. Touch on that next week. I'm trying to save myself a little bit for next week, Jen, when we come in. Because Mr. Pete Wilson's been on vacation.
He has.
I'm sure
he departed the scene.
He did. So I'm sure I'll be back in next week to do some news as well. The Big Red Diamond Club has announced that its 2024 spring baseball, softball, t-ball registration is now available online.
Mm-hmm.
If you get on their Facebook page, it's under the same, Big Red Diamond Club. If you just search that, you can find it on Facebook. They have a link on there that takes you to a form that you can fill out for that registration.
Okay.
If you're not comfortable doing it that way, they will be doing one in-person registration on Saturday, February 24th, but the time and location for that has yet to be determined. It's a little still, we're not too far out, are we? We're in the about a month away.
Yeah.
And but you can do it online. It's real quick. It's a super simple form. I went and checked it out.
Okay.
That you can fill out. And they are still looking for sponsors for the 2024 season. So anybody that wants to be a sponsor for that, I know they usually have a big group of kids involved in that program out there. And the registration will close on Sunday, February 25th. And once again, for more information, you can visit the Big Red Diamond Club Facebook page.
Very good.
This Saturday, tomorrow, the Colton Historical Society will be having a meeting at noon at the James A. Rhodes Community Center there in Colton. And the meeting agenda will include a number of things. They'll be going through their bylaws and their 501c3 status. They'll be proposed membership fee schedule. The thing that caught my eye was they're going to talk about the rehab of Governor James A. Rhodes' birthplace.
Oh.
Which is right up from the community center there.
Interesting.
And potential funding maybe for that.
What is it right now?
What? The birthplace?
Yeah.
It's just there. It's there in the
Does
village.
Someone live in it?
No,
or?
Nobody lives there.
Oh, okay.
It's just kind of
like
kind
a
of
museum,
set.
or
it's not open or anything.
It's not anything. Oh, okay.
No. There's signage out in front of it that says that it's the birthplace, but I don't think you can access it or anything.
Interesting.
But I think that maybe they're wanting to do some rehab to maybe
that would be cool.
be able to make it into. There's been talks in the past by the Colton Historical Society, which I don't know if they own it or lease it or how that works.
Okay.
But there's been talk by different organizations that they kind of want to save it. It needs. I remember at one point there's a lot of talk that it needs a lot of work. Because nobody's lived in it for some time, and it's set. And, we've been in and out of several winters, and just different things. But they'll be meeting, and the reason they don't announce. I can't remember the last time that they actually had like a meeting like this, so just wanted to mention it.
That's cool.
So that is, again, at noon on Saturday, and they'll be doing a number of things. And they'll also be doing ideas for fundraising and annual memberships, meeting dates, times, and that kind of stuff. So be sure to look for that. Also on Saturday, the Jackson County chapter of Ohio Genealogical Society will be meeting at 10:30 a.m. at the Jackson City Library's Potter Room. All are welcome to join and listen to family stories from the group's members.
Okay.
So that'll be going on Saturday as well. This coming week on Monday, the Jackson County Farmers Club will be meeting 6:30 p.m. to 8 p.m. The evening's program will feature the director for the benchmarking program for the OSU extension. and they will be covering benchmarking for a farming operation focusing on cattle. It says the evening's meal will be served at a cost of $5, starting at 6:30 p.m. Everyone is welcome to attend. You can call Josh Winters at 740-688-5029 to register.
They have some good food too.
Monday, don't forget Monday is a holiday. It's Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Oh, it is. You're right.
And on Monday, January 15th, at 1 p.m., the local branch of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, or the NAACP, will be celebrating Martin Luther King Jr. Day at Paint Creek Baptist Church. That's at 833 3rd Avenue in Gallipolis. They will be having a guest speaker, and they will have that program down there for anybody who'd like to travel down to Gallia County.
Yeah.
And on the same note there, we got to talk about local closures for that holiday here locally in Jackson and Benton County. That holiday falls on Monday, and there will be entities in Jackson and Benton counties that will be closed in observance of that holiday. And when that happens, there are offices that are closed, and the trash collection schedules may vary as well. So I'm going to run through those for the different municipalities. So if you're watching, listen up, because this could affect you. If you got to pay bills, or you want to know when your trash needs to be set out,
right?
Pay attention.
Yes.
So in the village of Colton, they will be closed on Monday. They'll reopen the following day on Tuesday, and the holiday does not affect their trash pickup schedule. So their trash will be picked up on Friday as normal.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes certain holidays cause their trash to move a day.
Yeah.
And the city of Jackson, they'll be closed. They'll reopen the following day. Monday's trash will be picked up on Tuesday, along with the regular route. So be sure to have your trash out early, as crews will be running a double route that day.
Okay.
The village of Oak Hill, they'll be closed as well. Reopen the following day. Their garbage collection service will be postponed by one day.
Yep.
In the city of Wellston, theirs is a little different this year. I believe last year they were open, but this year it says the Wellston city offices are closed to the public.
Okay.
Garbage will be picked up on Monday as normal, and the emails and voicemails will be checked regularly. The police department will remain accessible, and you can call them on their non-emergency line. They will be there if you need them. As far as the Jackson County government offices go, they will all be closed on Mondays. That's like your courthouse and B&V and commissioner's office, all like auditor's office, all that.
Is
will
school
be closed.
out?
I do believe school.
Yes.
Most of the local schools should be out as well. And like I said, the B&V will be closed too. And all those government offices should reopen on Tuesday. We're going to head to Benton County. The village of Hamden, they will be closed on Monday.
Okay.
And their garbage collection service will be postponed by one day. They should reopen the following day. Village of MacArthur, they are closed. They don't have any trash services, so I'm not sure how that works up there. I don't know, people, it's just kind of a free-for-all. Maybe they get their own trash service, like the village.
Rumpke or something?
Maybe. Or maybe like a local person does it or something of that nature. Because you know how some people have like a business that does trash pickup. The Benton County government offices, so your courthouse, B&V, and all that stuff up there will be closed as well. And they should reopen on Tuesday for regular hours.
Okay.
Next week on Tuesday, the Jackson County Board of DD will hold its organizational and regular board meeting on Tuesday, January 16th. At 6 p.m., it'll be held at the Hope Haven School there at 822 Sellers Drive in Jackson.
Okay.
So if you're, I'm sure that's probably open to the public.
You want to participate?
Interested
Get there.
in going to check it out. This is also coming up next week. The Jackson County Airport Authority, their meeting is typically would have been on January 10th. It's typically when they would have met, but it had been rescheduled for this coming week, Wednesday, January 17th at 7 p.m. And the meeting is held at the James A. Rhodes Airport office.
Okay.
Beautiful facility out there.
Yes, it is. If you haven't been out there, it's cool.
It is very neat. want to talk about the Jackson area YMCA. They have announced that their hiking program will be returning for 2024.
It was very popular.
It was. There was
Yeah.
a lot of people that participated in it this past year. They have announced that they have 3 scheduled hikes for 2024. Each hike starts at 10 a.m. and the hikes will be as followed. There'll be one on the 27th at Opher Falls. Is that how you say it?
How do you spell it?
Ophir Falls.
Oh, I don't know.
Is one of the locations.
That's cool. Never heard of it. So cool.
Somewhere here in Jackson County, I suppose. Another one is Opal Falls. That's on February 25th. And then the Belgium Coke Forest, March 17th. Are you familiar?
No.
I'm not familiar with that one either. Maybe
Where are these places?
Maybe they aren't all in Jackson County this year.
What's it called?
The Belgian Coke Forest is the one in March 17th. They do say due to limited parking spots at the hiking locations, the YMCA will be offering transportation this year. It says it only costs $2 per person, and that's for gas. It says registration for the hikes will be open 2 weeks prior to each hike, and there will be a prep class for each hike. And this will be held at the Jackson area YMCA on the Friday before. It's not mandatory. And catch a glimpse at what you will see at each hike on the website at jacksonareaymca.org/hiking-group.
So just so you know, thanks Google.
Okay.
The Belgian Coke Oven Ruins is
it here?
It's Vinton County. In the Vinton Furnace State Forest, situated in the northern reaches of Ohio's Hanging Rock Iron Region.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Vinton Furnace operated from 1854 to 1883. Then it was converted to coke for fuel in 1875. The unique feature of the Vinton Furnace is the set of 24 Belgian coke ovens, which I'm not going to be able to show online, but
okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
So they're like it's
got
like
some
a row of them
ruins there.
Yeah, kind of cool.
Interesting.
Never heard. I don't know how I never heard of that before.
There's a lot of
there's a lot of
different
stuff.
There's a lot of different stuff in Jackson and Vinton County that we've I think Pete's been on and talked about that Jackson County board, a new tourism board.
Yeah.
Hopefully when they get around, maybe they can. Well, they're formed and everything, but I know they'll be working on tourism.
Yes.
Hopefully they can
Lots of
get a
fun
good
stuff.
list of like all this different stuff that's out there to do. So
Very
we're about out of time, so I'll just save what's left here and leave it to you, Jen.
Well, very good. Well, we appreciate you spending the morning with us, Jeremiah.
We did it.
We did it. Hey, don't forget there will be maybe some gusty winds here coming up this weekend.
May have some. I don't know if you got the weather. You get the weather, Hayden?
Flurry-ish.
Look, there was some snow.
We don't know.
Some snow on there for what? Sunday, and look, different snow next week.
Yeah, I
guess we'll have to see. It's cold enough.
Who knows?
Definitely cold enough. So, look at that. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's below freezing. So,
Yep.
if there was any precipitation of any kind, it's definitely going to be snow.
Yay. Can't wait.
Maybe we'll have the first snow.
Although we
of the
haven't had
season.
any snow yet. So
We really haven't. Now, I
Yeah.
will say last Saturday, there was a little bit of a change of snow out of my house.
Well,
And as quickly as
that
it
was
showed up,
bizarre. It was like slush, then it was rain, then it was
a little bit of snow. So
Yep. Yeah. So watch out though. This morning it was a little bit cold. Have a friend that already busted her rear end on some ice this morning that she thought was just water.
Whoops.
So yeah, there is that chance of just watch where you're walking and stuff because it can happen.
I about did that the other morning.
Yeah, it can happen for sure.
Top step was a little slick.
Yeah.
So,
it's like Home Alone.
yes. Yeah.
Well, have a wonderful weekend, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll be right back here on Monday. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.
This just in.
The Telegram News has a new website.
thetelegram.news.com.
Same dedicated coverage.
Same trustworthy news with a brand new look.
Covering Jackson and Benton counties and surrounding areas.
Locally owned and operated, thetelegram.news.com has its finger on the pulse of the community.
Stay up to date on local events, high school sports, and breaking news.
thetelegram.news.com.
Subscribe today at thetelegram.news.com.
Check it out.